Hey Cash2 community, today I'd like to talk about how to connect the Antminer A3 to the Cash2 mining pool. The first step is you have to turn on your Antminer. The second step is you have to get the IP address of your Antminer. After you get the IP address, you can go to a web browser and put the IP address into the address bar. You will then be asked to put in a username and password to log in. The default username and password is root, R-O-O-T, and that is for both the username and password. Once you sign in, you'll be taken to this page, the miner status page. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to miner configuration to show you how to connect the Antminer A3 to the pool. So here it asks for the URL, the worker, and the password. Connecting to the Cash2 mining pool does not require a password, so we can leave this field blank. The URL is stratum plus tcp pool1.cash2.org 5555. And let me show you where you can find this URL. If you go to the Cash2 website, cash2.org, you can scroll down to the mining information section. Here it shows that we currently have one mining pool, and the website for this mining pool is pool1.cash2.org. So once we click on that, it will take us to the mining pool website. Once we're at the mining pool website, we can scroll down to the section called Connection Details. Here. And in this section, it shows that the URL is this, which is what we currently have our Antminer pointed to. So if we come back to the Antminer webpage, we have our URL filled out. The next step is the worker. For this part, you want to put in your Cash2 address in for the section labeled worker. And I can also show you where you can get a Cash2 address. The easiest way is to go back to the Cash2 website, cash2.org, and scroll down to Paper Wallet. In this section, you'll be given a fresh Cash2 address here. A spend private key here, and a view private key here. You want to make sure that you write down all three: the address, the spend private key, and the view private key. You can give your Cash2 address to anybody. If they want to send you money, they can send it to you through this address. However, you don't want anybody else to know what your spend private key is and what your view private key is. If somebody knows your spend private key, they can take money out of your Cash2 address. If somebody knows your view private key, they can see how much money you have in your Cash2 address. So what you can do now is just copy this address, come back to the Antminer webpage, and paste it in for the worker here. And then you come down and you click Save and Apply. You can check the status of your miner to make sure that everything is running okay by going to Miner Status. Some of the key things to look for, the first one is here under ASIC status. You want to make sure that you see all zeros here. If you see X's instead, that means that there is a problem with either the miner or the connection between the miner and the mining pool. The other thing you want to take a look at is this part, labeled HW. I believe this is the number of hardware failures. If the number is low, like let's say less than 100, everything should be okay. If it's really high, like in the several thousands or 10,000s, usually it means that there is something wrong and that the miner will most likely restart on its own. The other thing we want to take a look at is the number of get works. We want to make sure that this number steadily goes up. And we also want to make sure that the number of accepted shares is also rising as well. Alright, I hope this video has been helpful. If there are any questions about how to connect your Antminer A3 to the Cash2 mining pool, please leave a comment below, and I'll do my best to answer all the questions. Thank you very much.